hint of what we're going into next year, but he didn't. So we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what he's supposed to. But, this is 2015 is going to be phenomenal. All right, so we had talked about acknowledging our hurts. We talked about significance. We talked about, we started off by talking about reality, how the guy was hurt on the side of the road, and how he, when they asked him how he's doing, he was like, I'm fine. Well, he wasn't fine. He was bleeding to death. You know, but because of shock, he didn't recognize he was bleeding to death, so he was like, I'm fine. So we use that to say that's how we do. We like, I'm fine. When the whole time, we bleeding to death. You know, blood, life is in the blood. When life is being sucked out of you, you're dying. Right? You can have a smile on your face. You can have on Louis Vuitton, Coach, and everything else, right? But if the life being sucked out of you, ain't nobody paying that stuff no mind. You ain't even paying it no mind. We went to a house on a golf course. Shit, when you walked in, the ceilings was high as the other church. People didn't even notice the house because they were unhappy. They couldn't see the house. The house didn't change that they were in disharmony. One of the things is growing beyond pain. So we had talked about changing our objectivity and our thoughts and how we think. That reminds me. I think it was my son talking to my granddaughter, right? And I guess she was going through something. So she said, now my granddaughter has had a history of being very sensitive. So if you hurt her feelings or you say something, or if you're disappointed with her, like especially if one of us is disappointed with her, her history was she was done. She's going to break down, cry. She's like, oh. So when she was in town, my wife said something that was disappointing, so she broke down and started crying. So my wife said, okay, this is what I need you to do. I need when you're feeling pain, I need you to press past the pain. Is that push past the pain? What's the phrase? What's the
Push through the pain.
Okay, I'm sure you guys must have had this conversation. So good. All right. So it's push through the pain. And then so then she animated it. She was like, what we going to do? She said, what we going to do? We're going to push through the pain, right? She said, so if you come home, they was driving in the car. The kids I was sitting in the back or something. So they're driving in the car. She says, okay, if you come home and you're tired because you had a long day, maybe at school or whatever, and your mom's mad at you and you feel pain, what you going to do? And they was in the back. They was going to like push through the pain. And then she said, because when you push through the pain, on the other side of the pain, there's peace, right? There's peace. And then on the other side of the pain, there's joy. And then love or something. Yeah, or love, right? So my son's talking to, was it this week? He's talking to my granddaughter, so I guess he was trying to encourage her. He said, no, she said, Daddy, don't worry about it. She says, I'm pushing through the pain. She said, because on the other side of pain, there's peace. She said, on the other side of pain, there's joy. She's breaking it down. But the interesting thing is what she learned is how we should be living. Like when we get uncomfortable, not only do we punish ourselves, but everybody around us get punished. Oh, no, I'm uncomfortable right now. No, whoa. Look like you having a good time. Come on over here. Join in. I need you on my team. I want you uncomfortable too. So now you just spewing out craziness because you uncomfortable. See, because there's something you can't control that's making you uncomfortable. Instead of you pressing past that, oh, no, we're going to pay today. Everybody will be uncomfortable today. That's how we rolling today. The kids, everybody. I want all y'all walking on eggshells because I'm uncomfortable. Instead of what? Doing what? Yeah, some of y'all, look, God bless you. Mike said, push through the pain. But he ain't say it like he wasn't pushing through. He said it like, no, he was saying it like, that's what I've been trying to say. That's how he said it. Look. Well, he was like, push through the pain. I thought about something else, but I'll reference that in a minute. Since we got a pregnant woman back here. You have to push through the pain. You have to push. You push. Watch. I saw that. I just saw that. You push. Wasn't for you, I wouldn't be in this predicament. All right, so, wow, what am I supposed to be talking about? All right, so we talked about our, basically our real worth and trying to establish our real worth. It's a search for significance. And God has placed something in us where we're designed where significance is a part of our appetite. There's something in man where we're starving for significance. But the challenge is if we don't try to gain that significance through God, then we'll search for significance through man. But as soon as we decide to search for significance and our value through man, at that moment, as soon as that moment where you go, I feel more significance if my parents approve, if everybody approve, we become an accessory at that point. We sign on to, I want to be an accessory. Because my only significance is when they want to use me or they want to value me. Like my watch. My watch's only significance is if I put it on. As long as it's sitting on that dresser, ain't none of y'all think about that watch. Ain't thinking about it right now until I brought it up. You know, so it actually it determines its value for me. It doesn't establish its own value, right? So when we need man to certify us, what we're saying is I'm an accessory. They'll let me know when they need me. So I'll use me because you guys probably don't deal with this. But most of my life, I told you I grew up with foster parents. You taught to be compliant. You're the go-for. You go for everything they need. So you're a servant. I mean, you just serve. No one's serving you. You're like, so you had to clean the back stairs. There's three family dwellers in New Jersey, so 3 families. Well, it was 2, but they built another family. So you don't just clean your back stairs. You clean everybody's back stairs. And then you're a kid, you know what you're thinking, right? Like, I ain't walked up those stairs. Let them clean those stairs. Well, I got to clean everybody's stairs. So that's what your flow is. You just go to the store. Not, Keith, what's your schedule? I know you just got out of school. You're going to play basketball. Just want to know what your schedule is just because I need you to go to the store. No, I'm not asking you your schedule. When you walk through the door, if I want you to go to the store, you're going to the store, regardless of what your schedule is. So you know what I did? How I am now. I try to anticipate people's needs. So I was like, they probably need me to go to the store, so I'm going to run home. I used to walk home. So I ran home from school, ran in the house. You need me to go to the store? Young kids, y'all need to learn this. Anticipate needs, right? So they would say, yeah, okay. Grab the money, run to the store, run back home, give them what they need, then run to be first in line to make sure I could play basketball. So based on what I needed, I had to change my behavior, right? But so I'm used to that. I do it with you guys. We check you out, see how you flow, anticipate how you flow and what your needs are, and then we make the adjustments, right? So you watch. You say, okay, am I needed or am not? Okay, they're not consistent with that, so I can't just drop my guard. I have to make sure I'm available to step up. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they're consistent with that. I can back off and just flow. But that's what your flow is. Your flow is just going to be compliant. So I'm the type of person that, man, Keith going to be there for you. I just call Keith. Stranded, call Keith. Anytime, it'd be 3 in the morning. I would just call Keith. Mind you, we could have got the car fixed, but why get it fixed? Worst case scenario, breakdown, we just call Keith. Now you got demands on your life, but you stressed out because you're trying to meet the demands on everybody else's life. You're not letting them take responsibility for their choices. You're taking responsibility for their choices. Because your significance is them saying, Keith was there for us. We can always depend on Keith. With an F. Right? And our significance, so I signed on to be an accessory. So I was an accessory most of my life. Just let me know when you need me. And the Lord said, I shared this with you. The Lord told me one year, he said, Keith, I need you to take back your choices. So I need you to make decisions based on your choice, not based on other people's value of you. I said, what are you talking about, Lord? He said, Keith, Mr. Man of God, Because no, this wasn't like when I wasn't saved. This was, I'm working as a minister in church. He says, mostly all the stuff you do is based on everybody else's approval. The reason why I can't get you to shine your light so bright because you worried about other people feeling uncomfortable. I need you to make decisions based on choices. And now that rubbed people the wrong way because they were used to Mr. Defer. God's trying to get us to be a point where our significance is in him. So we talked a little bit about that last week. I just wanted to emphasize that again this week. A man or woman who lives only for the love and attention of others is never satisfied, or at least not for long. It's a dangerous thing to search outside of the presence of God for the need of self-worth. It's a dangerous thing to search outside of the presence of God for the need of self-worth, for the need of self-worth. Peace is not found in proving yourself to others. That's conditional. You will never find peace in a conditional relationship. See, the whole thing about God is an agape love relationship. Agape love relationship is unconditional. So in other words, if my wife only loves me because I meet her conditions, I'm not going to meet all her conditions. So eventually something's going to get funky because I'm not going to get the same level of love appreciation once the conditions are not met. That's what happened. That's why our relationship with God can't be conditional. You know, it's not about conditions. It's agape is an unconditional type love. Peace is found when you're being yourself, not proving yourself. Peace is found when you're being yourself, not proving yourself. If you always have to prove yourself, you'll never find peace. See, because your significance, again, is not, you don't have to prove yourself to God. He designed you. But God's whole thing is you being yourself, being what he designed you to be. People's thing is you prove, look, that was the whole trick in the garden, right? If you be. You know, like he got Jesus in the wilderness. The adversary was like, well, if you be the Son of God, turn this stone into bread. He's trying to get him to prove himself. Because as soon as he would have made a move to prove himself, automatically he would have been questioning his design. So he was getting so if I have to prove myself, I don't believe in myself. I'm not walking in the knowing at that point. God had just said, this is my son who I'm well pleased. God said it. So God had already said, he already endorsed who you are. He already told you, listen, your significance is this is what I designed and I'm pleased in you. And then Satan comes along and says, if you're the Son of God, I just talked. Weren't you there? God just said, this is my son whom I'm well pleased. Right? Eve, they rolling with God. And it said that in the cool of the day, they was walking with God, wanting for nothing. Satan was like, God don't want you to be like him. That's what it is. What you need to do, if you don't have enough, but if you really want to be really like God, you need to eat this. Trying to get her to prove herself. Tempting her out of the presence of God with trying to control her value. Tempting her to come out of the presence of God by controlling her value. What I mean by controlling your value? Like, I need to establish my value. God has not established it yet. See, when God has established it, I'm resting in the knowing of what God has established. When I'm trying to establish it, I have to prove it all the time. So that means, let's say we're in a situation, we came up with something new, let's say video-wise. So we got all these people who work back there now. But actually, Devin came up with it. So I'm sitting there, I got the mic. I was like, hey, man, we just got this new thing. I don't know who came up with it. It was a great idea. So Devin jumps up. Now, it's quiet. I did it. I'm the one that came up with it. Well, something's happening there where you feel like you always have to shine and always give it. He doesn't do that. And always give value. You know what I'm saying? You're taking control of your value. I want to make sure I'm the most valuable person in the room. I want to make sure I'm not disregarded in the room. But see, that's why the scripture says be clothed with humility. Clothed with humility is you knowing who you are. Regardless of if anybody recognizes who you are, God's told you who you are, and you're like, no matter what, I already know what I'm going to be and what I'm going to do. That was Joseph's claim to fame.